This is the Southwest Outdoors Report, powered by your Texas Chevy dealer.
Hi everybody, and welcome into summer. That is correct. This is our first edition of the 2010 season after the official first day of summer. And it is hot around the region, lots of 100-degree plus days, and that has and most certainly will be affecting the water conditions and the fishing around our region. We're here to tell you how that happens on today's show. Right now, I'd like to welcome you into beautiful Lake Bridgeport. This lake is located in northwest Texas, just west the city of Bridgeport, Texas. It is a water supply lake for the city of Fort Worth. Now, right now, we are in the midst of maybe the feel-good story of the year in this part of the state, because during all of the drought for 5 or 6 years, the water level at Bridgeport dropped 10 to 11 feet below normal level and did not come back. It was one of the very last lakes to fill up again in the rains late in 2009 and early in 2010. But the good news is the lake is finally back to normal level, and it has completely changed the face of the fishing at Lake Bridgeport. We're going to show you around the lake today. It's midday now. We've already been here for half a day, and I'll tell you that the bass fishing out there is really difficult right now. We'll show you some more about that in just a minute. But first, we're going to be taking you around the region for your very latest fishing reports from our team of reporters. We'll have your Lawrence Hot Lake of the Week, a really cool place to go river fishing in Oklahoma. We'll have your Big Catch of the Week. Also this week, we've got some cool video from the grand reopening of Squaw Creek Reservoir down near Glen Rose, Texas. You don't want to miss that. But first, we take you back to Heather, who's standing by with this week's Chevy Weekend Planner.
According to the Saloon Tables, the first official weekend of summer will feature some good fishing. Saturday will include a full moon and looks to be one of the best days of the month for game fish activity, with peak time starting around noon. Temperatures are going to be hot, so drink lots of water and always wear sunscreen when you're at the lake. The sun will be rising about 6:20 a.m. and setting at 8:41. Have a great weekend, everyone. Now back to Barry at Lake Bridgeport.
Thanks, Heather. We've made it out onto Lake Bridgeport right now, and as I mentioned at the beginning, we've already been fishing all day. This is toward the end of the afternoon. We're about to leave, but I do want to set things up by showing you the type of cover that got flooded when this lake came up. We've got some little bushes that I think are button willows or buckbrush. We've got grass and weeds all in here. And back here behind us, you can see some boat docks. When the lake was down 10 or 11 feet, those docks were on dry ground, but now the water has come up under the docks. So you have at least 3 or 4 different kinds of bass holding cover. If it weren't so dang hot and the water temperature is so hot, maybe we could catch more than we can. Stay with us. When we come back, we're going to flash back via tape rewind, the digital era, go back to first thing this morning and show you what it was like just after daylight. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
This is the Southwest Outdoors Report, powered by your Texas Chevy dealer.
Got him. There we go. There's a little bass to get it going. Oh, don't get around something. Here he comes. Nothing really big, but a largemouth bass. All right. Welcome everybody. Your Southwest Outdoors Report is on the air. That fish was in vegetation that grew up while the lake was down. A lot of nutrient-rich shoreline that's exposed. A lot of bushes. In fact, I've seen 3 or 4 or 5 different kinds of vegetation and shrubs and bushes that are growing up out from the shoreline, and then when that water floods it, it makes immediate, very fertile cover for bait fish, and then of course the game fish, the largemouth bass like that one, follow them in. And the perfect bait to fish flooded vegetation in the summertime is a buzz bait. That one hit a white, just a plain 1/4 ounce white buzz bait. All right, that gets us going here early in the morning on Lake Bridgeport. We're going to keep on doing this for a while, see what else is going on right now though. Here's Gary Dollahan up in Oklahoma.
With all the water we had in the Oklahoma area a few days ago, we had to have some place to put it, so they're really running lots of water through several river systems right now. Here, just Three Forks Harbor outside of Muskogee. This was to have been the site of the Bass Elite event last week. Too much water, lots of current. They moved to nearby Fort Gibson Lake. So what better way to get this week's fishing report than what the 93 anglers who visited the lake had to say about the lake. They caught fish a variety of ways, but most everybody caught them shallow, which might be surprising for a summertime pattern. Buzz baits, spinner baits, crankbaits, soft plastics. Ran into the tournament angler winner, Tommy Biffle from Wagner, who was the most consistent over the 4-day period, won the tournament. Here's what he had to say about what he did and how he did it.
The water movement through Fort Gibson this week was a key. It had a lot of water moving through the lake. They were running it through, keeping the lake at a constant level, but pushing a lot of water through. That made the fish bite really well. And the key to mine was I was using my Biffle bug on a football style head jig. I was covering a lot of water and covered a lot of water thoroughly, but just a steady, slow retrieve, keeping it bumping the bottom, keeping it moving, and that was the key to my victory this week.
This week on your Lowrance Hot Lake of the Week, I'm looking for a place to get you out of the 100-degree heat and into some cooler water and some good fishing. So how about a cool river flow trip down the Illinois River in northeastern Oklahoma? Let's check it out right now on the Lowrance HDS10, the beautiful bright screen unit that you can see even in bright sunlight, all conditions. It's got the inside shaded relief mapping, and we're going to locate the Illinois River. The first stretch we highlight runs from the Arkansas-Oklahoma border near Watts, Oklahoma, southward toward Tahlequah. Now there are a lot of canoe and kayak rentals up and down this stretch of the river, and it runs further south into 10 Killer Reservoir. You can catch bass, catfish, perch, and some crappie in this stretch. Now we switch further south below 10 Killer. It begins at the 10 Killer Dam and runs southward down toward Gore, Oklahoma, and into the Arkansas River near I-40. The water here is much cooler in the summer, and it is stocked with rainbow and brown trout, as well as some very large striped bass that feed on the trout. Now, I've made several float trips myself down the Illinois River. It is great fun, great fishing, but one word of warning, probably not best to take small children because there's a lot of swift current and deep water. Check it out, the Illinois River in northeastern Oklahoma, this week's Lowrance Hot Lake of the Week. Stay with us. Cajun Phil and Kevin are up next with your Cajun Bites from Louisiana.
The Southwest Outdoors Report, powered by your Texas Chevy dealers, is brought to you by quality award-winning Tracker boats. Fish the finest. By Lowrance, makers of the HDS, high-definition systems. And by Jean LaRue Lures and Bobby Garland Baits, quality soft plastic baits made in Oklahoma with American pride.